Hello everybody. Happy Wednesday. Let me go live on YouTube. All right. So good afternoon, YouTube. Good afternoon, Facebook. I hope you guys are doing well on this Wednesday afternoon. I wanted to get on here because I'm not going to have time the rest of the week to do the forecast, the Pisces or the Virgo. Okay, we've reconnected. All right, there we go. Okay, so I hope you're all having a great Wednesday. I wanted to get on here because I won't be available the rest of the week, at least Monday, or at least Thursday and Friday. So I did want to take the time to get on here and go over this new moon, or not new moon, full moon, excuse me, in Virgo. We have it on Friday, March 8th, or March 18th, excuse me. Let's put glasses on so we don't read that wrong. There. March 18th, 2022. It's at 3:18 a.m. Eastern, so you'll hit it on the West Coast at 12:18. This moon is all about cleaning out the clutter. It's about health commitments and checkups and keeping our own selves in check in some ways. All earth signs are going to feel this energy strongly. So Capricorn, Virgo, Taurus, you're all going to feel this energy strongly. Where was I? But also Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Dragon's Head and Tail in Virgo. You guys, of course, will feel it the most because you have these natal placements. So anyone with a strong Neptunian placement or a strong Virgo placement, you're going to definitely feel this moon phase. Now, when we have this moon phase, it does tend to make some of us kind of perfectionists. And at times we tend to really overthink things. And I know with this placement, sometimes we focus on the tree and we forget the entire forest. And that's not what we want to do in this energy. Hi, Rihanna. How are you? Hope you're doing well. Happy Wednesday. It is Wednesday, right? Yeah, I think so. Now, this moon's energy is all about better health and mindfulness towards our diet and what we put into our body. It's about purity, perfection, organization. This is the perfect time for spring cleaning. Holistic medicine. This rules textiles. Hi, Daisy. How are you? This rules textiles, so clothing. Virgo is very much known for its clothing. Not like man-made fibers either. I'm talking fibers that are made of natural substance. 100% cotton, 100% silk, natural, 100% hemp, natural fibers. Glad to hear you guys are well. Wonderful. So yeah, just remember that. Virgo does rule clothing in some way. It also rules green magic. And what I mean by green magic, the simple art of going into your garden and growing something is green magic, in my opinion. You are taking something and watching it sprout roots and watching it grow. That's really an excellent mantra for this. Not only do we have the new or the full moon in Virgo on the 18th, but we also have the spring equinox on the 20th. So this energy is also about balance and harmony. From the 18th, the 19th, the 20th, I'd say that like the next 6 days, 3 days before the equinox, 3 days after, the universe is kind of operating on a more balanced level where there's 12 hours of daylight and 12 hours of darkness. Everything's in balance. So you want to take this opportunity and this energy to create that balance within yourself, within your home, within your work life, wherever your life needs balance and harmony. This is very important to do at this time of year. So am I, Rihanna. So am I. I'm doing the exact same thing this weekend. It's my daughter's 17th birthday over the weekend, so I am going to do something fun with them on Saturday, but we've arranged it so that Sunday, which is the first day of spring, we're going to be planting a bunch of flowers in our garden. Crossing my fingers that I don't have another frost. The weather outside where I'm at it can't make up its mind. Yesterday it was this beautiful spring day, 73 degrees, 50-ish at night, starting to get better, you know, a little warmer. So I started putting all my sweaters and winter wear away, only to wake up this morning, not snow, but the temperatures have dropped and it feels more like a winter day outside than a summer or a spring day. So Mother Earth still is kind of in that transitioning where she's not quite ready for spring. She doesn't want to let, hi Jessica, how are you? And she doesn't want to let winter go yet. So, luckily, I left a few pieces of clothing out that'll keep me warm if we happen to have a freak snowstorm. So, okay, where was I? Like I said, this moon's energy, it's really, you know, a lot of it is about holistic stuff. Anything purchased now for diet health, such as vitamins, juicers, juice cleanses, materials for gardening, are all going to be blessed under these stars right now. Now, on a more negative note, some of us with this energy, we tend to be a little more critical of others and within our own selves. Please remember that Virgo is the most critical sign in the zodiac. Just keep that in mind, that none of us are perfect. Excuse me, none of us are perfect, and lessons are always learned from our mistakes. If we don't make mistakes, we don't learn from those lessons. And when we don't learn from those lessons, we don't grow and evolve. Virgo is a very difficult placement, especially if you have a lot of Virgo energy going through your chart. I could say this for myself because I do. And even in my younger days, I was so critical of people and so hard on people and others. It was really terrible, actually. I could admit this in my 20s and even in my early 30s. I incredibly judgmental of people and critical, not just of myself, but of other people. So critical. Dragon's tail in Virgo will do that. I also have a rising in Virgo. So as I've gotten older, I've learned that when an individual focuses on the tree, I miss the entire forest. And that's exactly what I was doing in my 20s. Focusing on one thing and missing the entire picture in the background. That's what happens when you start to get cosmic consciousness. You see things in a different light. I'm not perfect, that's for sure. There's a lot of Virgo attributes to me that still pertain. Yes, I am very picky and fussy, especially when it comes to clothing and food. There's just certain foods I will not touch or eat, like McDonald's. I don't eat any fast food. Once in a blue moon, I make an exception for In-N-Out Burger. But I try and stay away from the fast food. And there's other things too. But if you have a strong Virgo or a strong Mercury in your chart, we have a tendency to be a little more critical of people. Okay, now that I've spilled my secrets. Now my magical folk. Before I get into this with my magical folk, your daughter has a Virgo rising. Yeah, I have one too. And, I mean, how do I put this? No two Virgos are alike. Let's just put it that way. I've met Virgos that are very easygoing, get along with them really well. And then I've met Virgos that are, it's like, Jesus, lighten the hell up. Okay? It's no big deal. So it just depends. Virgo, time we're dealing with a Virgo rising, this is going to be a child or a young woman who's going, not overachiever, that's not the word I'm looking for, high achiever. She's going to expect a lot from herself. And with that, I know as parents, I have a daughter that's like this too. Her rising is not in Virgo, it's in Taurus, and all earth signs have a tendency to be a little more harder on themselves. But Virgo reigns supreme when it comes to being critical of themselves. They're the hardest on themselves, then they're hard on others too. I've noticed that with Virgo. So with Virgo and Virgo rising, what you have to do is give yourself a big pat on the back for a job well done. Because Virgos don't always give themselves a pat on the back for a job well done. They think they should have done it better, or they should have done it this way, or they should have done it that way, and not realizing that the way they did it was absolutely perfect. So those Virgos, we need those Virgos. They get the work done. They're worker bees. They're just a little hard on themselves and others around them sometimes. Now, before I get into the magic part of this, I want to bring up that tomorrow, yes, it's St. Patrick's Day, I know, but there's something even more important than that. It is a Thursday, and it is the 17th, and a lot of Irish think it's a lucky day. Oh, Daisy. Yeah, I know. That's a Virgo rising for you. Just reinforce it. I think as Virgos get older, they realize, hey, don't be so critical on myself, So it's a good thing. She's a worker. She's a hard worker, and that's a good thing. Tomorrow's Thursday. It's Jupiter Day. It is the day, I wouldn't say the day before the full moon, because the full moon happens at midnight for us West Coasters. So tomorrow is a perfect day to do any kind of money manifestations, whether that's a money spell, a money bowl, a money candle, any kind of thing to bring money to you, to bring wealth to you, to bring abundance to you, can all be done tomorrow. Okay. If you do work with hour lords, then you will want to work with 2 p.m. tomorrow. Now, this is for the Jupiter hour lords. 2 p.m. tomorrow. 2 p.m. tomorrow, you could start doing spell work to bring money into you. The next Jupiter hour is at 10 p.m. that evening, I believe. I don't have my book with me either. Anyway, 2 p.m. and 10 p.m. are the Jupiter Lord hours, and it's the best time to do money manifestation. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be lighting a green, not a chime candle, but one of those green 7-day prayer candles. And I've anointed it with money oil and basil and cinnamon, and I've anointed it with certain herbs. And I'm going to light that at 2 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, and I'm going to let it burn all night. So for those of you who don't want to let candles burn overnight, now I know for myself, if I did that, I would create a fire because I have cats. I have cats that clearly get on my altar in the middle of the night. I was doing deity work to a certain deity the other day, and I had to leave an offering. And I came running out the next morning, and I said to myself, there's no way the offering I left, the deity devoured the whole thing. I still, to this day, can't find the ham that I put out there as an offering to this deity. I think one of my cats helped himself to the offering. I have one cat. I know it's him. He has a thing for pork products. There are a few people in my household that eat pork products, so he's usually right under their feet when they're making a ham sandwich or cooking a pork chop or My daughter makes this Japanese dish called katsudon, which is made with, it's like a pork. It's pork. It's very tasty. I'm not a big pork eater though, but this cat goes bananas when she's cooking it. So we clearly have a feline in the house who loves pork. He's certainly not a kosher cat. Oh gosh, that's funny. All right, I'm laughing. Oh my gosh, really? Virgo moon. Okay, and Virgo ascendant. Oh, it's okay. This moon will kind of help us to give introspect within ourselves as well. So, like I said, we're working on the energies of balance and harmony right now. So this is a perfect time for all of us, especially with us with a strong Virgo, to balance out those energies and get in tune with nature a little more. But yes, tomorrow, perfect day for any kind of money spells of any sort of spell work for employment, to manifest a better job, are all blessed under these stars. Remember, Virgo does rule the 6th house. That is the house of health and the house of service to the world. So these next 2 weeks are a perfect time to get those checkups, okay? Take care of yourself. What else can I say about this? If you don't like the job you're in, these 2 weeks are the perfect time to start planning and looking for better employment. Granted, things usually don't get going until the new moon. And the new moon is beautiful. It's on April 1st and it's in Aries. And what a way to bring in the first of the month with a new moon in Aries. That is the month of action. These next 2 weeks are to plan like a Virgo. Dot your I's, cross your T's, plan it all out. Make your attack and your move on April 1st. Now, besides doing spell work, this is a perfect 2 weeks to do spell work to manifest a job, okay? Spell work for pursuits in writing, publishing, education, higher intellect, learning any kind of holistic arts like Reiki is it called? Chakra healing, acupuncture. Any kind of holistic medicine is always going to be blessed under these stars. Spell work for better health and better diet and ailments of the intestines and the nervous system are very good right now too. So when we do spell work for health and diet, people always think, oh, what kind of, color, candle color wise. Green is not just for money. It can also represent health as well. Brown is another one that I use for my own personal spell work and health. Now, granted, if you're trying to do a spell for better diet, how do I put this? You can't do a spell work for better diet and then sit on the couch and eat Doritos, okay? That is not how it works. You can do spell work to hold your resolve, to keep you, so you don't go off track. And we all, you have to live a little. You can't, but I'm trying to lose weight myself right now. And so what I'm trying to do is Monday through Thursday, I keep my food as clean as possible, whole foods. I try to not eat anything processed, but during the weekend, I let myself indulge a little bit. It's hard, and for myself, I have kind of a sweet tooth. That's my weakness. I abuse chocolate just like an alcoholic abuses vodka. I don't know how else to say it. That's my addiction, chocolate. Okay? It's one of my little... So I try and, get myself a little chocolate on the weekends to appease that craving you get. But don't do a spell and expect to lose weight if you're not going to put in the time. You have to put in the time, even if that means 20 minutes of walking a day for 20 minutes, 5 days a week. That is working with your spell, making those commitments, journaling. So the spell will only work so much. You have to put in the time as well. Does that make sense? Okay. One other thing, green magic is, like I said earlier, perfect, such as planting and working with Mother Earth and Green Goddess. This is going to empower many of us, especially with the spring equinox, like I just said, March 20th. Now let's talk about the equinox for a minute. Now both spring and fall are a time when the next few days and nights are of even balance and strength. So this is the perfect time to create that energy within yourself and your home. Balance is the key to better health, both mentally and physically, and it creates harmony from within. If we as humans are unbalanced, in Chinese medicine, especially if you've ever had acupuncture, I've had acupuncture before. I actually really miss it. I'm gonna have to look for an acupuncturist. I don't think there is one around here, but an acupuncturist said to me, a lot of humans don't realize that their meridian lines are off balance. That makes sense. Our meridian lines have something to do, don't quote me here, but they have something to do with acupuncture and how Eastern philosophy and Eastern medicine, I'm going to look it up, meridian lines. Meridian lines talk about, it's a meridian system and a concept of traditional Chinese medicine. So it makes sense. This is the perfect time during this time of year to create more balance and harmony. Even if you're setting the intentions for just, I'm going to meditate for 5-10 minutes a day. Now that is something I've really stuck to for the last several months. I am meditating at least 4 times a week, 5 to 10 minutes a day, first thing in the morning. And I do that so that the morning sun is hitting me. And I sit there in that morning sun. And there's something about the AM hours for that sunlight. I would say between 6 and 8 a.m. There's something invigorating and recharging about that time of day's sunlight. I always try and do a little meditation in the AM hours with that sunlight. I don't know, it just reconnects me in some way. Okay, so that was the meridian lines, and that's just kind of, that's Chinese philosophy, but it is a good philosophy to get ourselves realigned. And like I said, get out your green thumb and make something grow. I'm going to share it. Hold on. Okay, so during the pandemic, 2020, I kind of got a little addicted to witch boxes, and I bought tons of them, and it got to the point where when I was moving, I literally boxes of just witch boxes. So I had showed you the Witch's Moon spring box, and I said I was probably going to use that one for my spring ceremony. I don't think so. I think I'm going to save that for next spring. I found an older box, and I'm sure I've shared this with you guys before. I mean, this box is actually from last spring. And I know I've showed you guys this before, and has to do with tree magic. Tree magic. And it just talks about, hi Gail, did I say hi to you yet? Oh my goodness. I hope you're doing well. It gives like magical properties for all the trees. I know I've showed this to you guys before. Well, anyway, I decided to use this box for my spring because it has a flowering dogwood tree that I'm going to plant on Sunday. So I'm going to probably go to Lowe's on Friday, and I'm going to get a big pot because I'm going to pot this I'm going to plant this in a pot first. Pot this in a plant. I can't talk today. I'm going to plant this in a pot first. Big enough. Then that way, in a year or two, if I decide I want to stay here, I've got the hiccups now. In a year or two, if I decide I want to stay here, then I'll plant it in my yard, or I'll take it with me and plant it in my new home. But I'm going to be doing a flowering dogwood tree, which is pretty cool. I don't know if they have the magical properties of dogwood in here. I don't think they do. But anyway, I'm going to be doing that along with my little green candle. I'm going to be anointing it with some earth energy oil. This oil is actually called Dryad Spell Oil. And the Dryad Spell Oil is, bear with me guys. Dryad oil sample. In Greek mythology, dryads are nymphs who live in the trees and use the dryad oil to anoint yourself to prepare for tree magic practice. Now, you know, I have to tell you, I did do some tree magic when I first moved here 2 years ago. And during the monsoon season, those 2 trees out there that I blessed, which one is an apple tree and the other one, at one time I thought was a willow tree. And then Nick came up by, who is the green thumb in the family, and said, that is not a willow tree. That is an elm tree, which is fine by me. Elm or willow, I shall take. But I did tree magic, and I blessed the plants, and I gave thanks to them. They protected us all through the monsoon seasons. So I'm a firm believer in blessing our trees on our property. Like I said, I am sure I've showed you this before, but you also get a little tree talisman. To put on your altar, I guess. And you get a whole bunch of, these are not herbs, but these are actually pieces of tree. Ash bark, which is very good. Ash bark is for healing, protection, and balance. Then you've got white willow bark, which I already have white willow bark in my magical pantry. Now, a friend of mine who's native used to tell me that it is great for people who suffer from migraines. It's excellent for getting rid of headaches. Put it in tea, which is very true. I've used it, and it definitely does work. White willow bark is another healing energy. It's for binding and blessing of moon of one's life, and it's also for love protection. So you could use white willow bark in sachets if you want to make protection spells for your kids or your family. Perfect. And then the other one, the last one, was called birch bark. Birch bark. And birch bark is a protection, purification, change, and good fortune. And so, you know, the ink goddess is my second in line for witches boxes. The witch's moon is first. The ink goddess is second. She does a lovely, lovely presentation. And obviously I'm going to have that sitting on my mantle when I do my honoring of the seasons and the changing of the year. The wheel spins again. And this is just a little tree magic, honoring Mother Earth, Green Goddess, and even Virgo. If you don't have any tree oil like I have here, you can buy all of the astrological oils, because you can use them in magic. That doesn't necessarily mean you use Virgo if you're a Virgo. Virgo oil is perfect for doing spell work, for health, for finding a new job, also for tree magic. It's Mother Earth, Green Goddess. Capricorn is another one you could use. Capricorn oil is another oil you could use for finding a job, gaining, a level of authority over others in some ways. If you're running for politics, Capricorn oil is perfect. If you're doing love spells, you could use Taurus oil or even Venus oil. Venus oil and Taurus oil are both there's a multi-use to them. So you can use them in money spells. You can use them in love spells. Venus too. Venus is about money, but it's also about love. So it's good to utilize, and I'm actually kind of working on making some astrology oils. The only thing is they have to sit for a little while and kind of soak in their juices before you can sell them. But you can use those magical oils that are from the stars through the sun sign for all kinds of different reasons, because each zodiac sign is a different purpose. If you need courage and strength, obviously you're going to want to use a Leo oil. If you're an actor or an actress and you're trying to land that play, Leo oil. Or Crown of Success, that would work too. But that is my little magical thing today. I'm not pulling cards today, but I am going to pull one for the rest of the week, and I'm working with Animal Spirit today. I don't have too many of you in here. I guess I have time. If you guys want me to pull, I'm working with Animal Spirit today. I felt like working with animal energy today. So what message does the universe actually have for the world at large and for what's going to go on this weekend? Now, please remember, I'm working with animal energy, so it's going to take on a little bit different meaning. Saying my connection's unstable. It is gusting about 30 miles right now, but all right, what message, Spirit? Wow. So for the universe, we have snake. You know what I'm going to do? Let me just peek stat. There. I'll open the blinds a little so you could see. Hold on, Facebook. I'll show you too. Snake. Snake energy. It symbolizes transformation, healing, sexuality, and rebirth. And let's keep in mind what the United States is going through. They're going through their Pluto return. It takes 2 years for that to manifest and finish. The first year, which is what we're in now, is going to be hell. It's going to get rough. It's not going to be easy. The second year, which is next year, it's going to be easier. Things are going to get better. Plus, Pluto is going to transition out of Capricorn and into Aquarius. Pluto in Aquarius. And that's where the real changes begin. But, so, for the world at large and our country here in the United States, I would say, and this can pertain to other countries as well, transformation. What does Pluto represent? Transformation. It's rather ideal that we drew the snake, because the snake does represent the dragon and the lizard. Snake energy. Snake energy is about knowledge as well. Okay, so if anybody wants me to pull a card for them, just holler. Either in the chats, I have 2 of them up. So the snake has been given numerous symbols and qualities over time and across cultures, from sexual, compassionate, and clairvoyant qualities in the cycle of life, death, and rebirth, to poisonous snakes that have been associated with transformation and healing in many Native American cultures. The Native American belief system that the poison is thought to activate primal urges, which, if manipulated correctly, can cure rather than kill. In the Middle East, Gilgamesh, a serpent, acquires the flower of everlasting youth, which allows it to shed its skin and be reborn. That's Middle Eastern culture. Now, the painting titled Rutler is of a snake dancer. It represents a character of Buffalo Gals, Won't You Come Out Tonight, from 1994, a story written by Ursula K. Le Guin and illustrated by Bolette. Bolette is one of my favorite artists, especially of Native American work. I don't think she did the painting behind me, but I have several other paintings inside my home of her artwork. Susan Sheldon Bolette, I think, is her whole name. And that is snake energy. Okay, so Gail would like one. Jessica, I'm assuming the blue heart is a yes. Okay, so Gail, I'm going to get you first, and then Jessica, you will be next. And anyone else that's in my Facebook chat, if you would like a pull, an animal reading pull, let me know. This is for Gail. And what messages does Spirit have for Gail? I'm just going to shuffle them a little bit. What animal message does the universe have for Gail? Okay. What message? All right, that one spit out at me. Gail, it's fox energy. Fox. I hope this is not blurry. Fox energy is about having creativity. It could be about being cunning. It can represent sexuality as well. And like the coyote, the fox is strongly associated with magic, supernatural power, and cunning. In the wild, it exists at the edges of the fields and forest, and in the mystical realm, it is a principal mediator between the human and spirit worlds. In Chinese folklore, the fox may assume a human shape at the age of 50, and it is 100th birthday, it can become either a wizard or a lovely maiden. Red foxes are associated with sexual energy and the creative life force. Some Native American legends speak of a hunter discovering that his wife has a secret fox identity. So fox identity, not just sexuality, but it's also about getting in touch with your creative flow and your creative rhythm. Seeing a fox, I always consider it a sign of good luck, that something good is going to come your way. So keep your eye out for the red fox, Gail. Okay, Jessica, I will pull yours next. I just got to give them a little bit of a shuffle. I would say red fox energy is great for people who are into the arts, like painting and writing, that creativity. All right. What message do you have for Jessica, Spirit? Oh, wow. Butterfly. Butterfly. All right, well, butterfly energy is about transformation, which makes perfect sense. The cocoon, they transform. It is also about joy, lightness, and rebirth. The metamorphosis of the caterpillar to butterfly embodies the principle of physical and spiritual transformations. And the butterfly lighting upon a flower is the very essence of joy, beauty, and freedom. The butterfly has been symbolic of the soul, early Christianity, of course. In China, it represents bliss and change and joy. In Native American, it's about change, but joyful change. I bet you do. That's right, England. A lot of foxes, yes. They're very magical. In fact, even though you got that card and it talks about creativity and sexuality, remember the card even said, remember the spiritual realm. So when you see a fox too, that could be some of the spirit is there to say hello to you. Back to butterfly. Anytime you draw this in early Minoan cultures, the butterfly goddess was the key emblem symbolizing new life after death. It is painting. In this painting, a woman's face is emerging from the chrysalis like a womb, suggests transformation and rebirth. This is a great card. This is about transforming and rebirthing, whether that's with metaphysical studies, whether that's within your own self. Please remember, for all of you that I've just pulled a card for, we're getting ready to turn the season of the wheel once again. And in every season, there's lessons to be learned. Winter season, we learn things. Fall season, we learn things. Now we're turning that wheel once again and getting ready for the spring season. It is we're transforming seasons. So butterfly is very beautiful. Enjoy. You're very welcome, Jessica. That is good. I love to hear people coming into their newer self. Even myself, I say this, and I see this a lot on TikTok. There are people out there that, excuse me, claim to know it all, and even when someone corrects them, they do not say, sorry, I was wrong. There's an issue with big egos, and when people think that they know it all and they're not able to learn anymore, then they stop growing. And I certainly wouldn't want someone teaching me who had that mentality or that philosophy. So just remember, we're always growing and we're always learning and we're always coming into our own new self, whether that's at 22 or 52, constantly growing. Let's see, do I have anything else here? Nope, and that is it. For those of you who do celebrate Ostara, spring equinox, have a blessed Ostara. And for all of you over there on the other hemisphere, in Australia, I know you guys are having your fall equinox. So blessed fall to you guys and the starting of the harvest season over there in Australia and down under, as I call it. But here on Northern Hemisphere, it's springtime, and I want you all to have a blessed weekend ahead. Tomorrow is St. Patrick's Day. Try not to drink too much, and please remember to drink water, hydrate yourself. I know a lot of people that party and drink this time of year, especially tomorrow. I will not be. I will be here at home. Maybe have a glass of wine, but other than that, that's the extent of my drinking. Of course, if I was in Ireland, I'd be having a pint, but but anyway, those of you who do celebrate, have a nice St. Patrick's Day as well. Slanta. Cheers. And to all of you out there, I should get back on here probably on Monday. Probably Monday. Yes, Monday. Probably won't be hiking this weekend either, since I will be taking pictures of something. So keep your eye out on YouTube and on Facebook. I'm taking my daughter to a deer park on Saturday for her birthday. You're welcome, Gail. Thank you for tuning. She's going to be feeding deers, and we're going to be feeding llama and camel and all kinds of different things. It's not just deer. There's porcupine, and anyway, it's going to be fun. My kids love to spend time with the animals, so I don't mind spending money on it. So I will share with you. Thank you. I'll let her know. And